Yep, it's about that time of the week, folks. Time for four friends to check in and tell you about what's going on the internet and otherwise. Welcome back to What the Podcast. My mic is really low. Do you want to maybe bump me up? Yeah.
Oh,
Thanks,
there
pal.
you go. You're buzzing too. You're the buzzer.
That
Sorry,
can't
go
be
ahead.
me.
Yeah, it is.
Whoa.
So
You're the
Vegeta.
buzzer.
It's you.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan,
I'm John.
and together we are
Ryan and John.
back again.
Always good to be back.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it is. I love this
Oh,
show.
I thought you were just texting your other podcast.
I was
And
actually
I'm
I was lining up a different
Kara.
show.
On the couch, as always, Kara Tafoya. Okay.
Yay!
You have the floor now. You can
Yeah,
say
go
something.
ahead.
I'm Kara.
Okay. And joining us this week on the couch, also, the lovely Annie the Scoveman.
That's what they tell us anyway.
Wow, so this is what the podcast, huh?
Yeah.
That's what the
Glad to be
podcast.
here. First
Always
time.
fresh, never frozen. Guys, I got a great one for you today.
Let's
ahead.
hear it.
Apparently, we're bringing back old school rock and roller status in Vegas.
All right.
You guys
All
know
right.
Bruno Mars, right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently, the man has accumulated $50 million of gambling debt over at the MGM.
Love.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
for him.
He it seems like he's going to go the way of the Elvis, where he'll just have to play there for the rest of his life.
He's had a residency there for 3 years now.
Yeah.
How
Something
has
like
he
that.
amassed so much debt though?
Yeah, don't feel bad
Who
for him.
knows?
He makes $1 million a night playing there. So,
So he just has to do 50 nights and he's
just a
all
couple
good.
more nights.
50
and
more
then-
nights.
And he'll be fine.
But he also can't gamble those nights. He has
And-
to go straight to bed, Bruno.
Yeah, the man's
Really?
been
Well, if he gambles, then he could.
no, he's staying out all night. You
Wait.
know.
Can't.
What do you mean?
Of course
can't?
he is.
Debt.
Hold on. Is there something stopping him, like logistically in his contract, or are you just saying that he
No,
probably
I'm just
doesn't?
saying that if
No,
he
like
goes out to
his
gamble
mom.
more, his debt will go up.
All right,
and
well
he'll have
then-
to play more shows.
Here's the thing, though, is 90% of gamblers stop right before their big win. So
It's
if
true.
you stop,
Which means they'll never stop.
you can't really
Right.
stop.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah.
so true.
That's the thing.
I love Vegas.
Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah, Vegas is fun.
Well, yeah, I can see why he gets paid $1 million. The tickets start at $289, and they go
Is
up
that
to,
holding up the back wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, you go up to
Dang.
1,500,
That's
2,000.
in the back wall.
Oh my gosh!
They send you a text message video
Yeah,
for
and then
$300.
oh,
wanna
there's a
go see him so
$10,000 ticket, main floor.
I believe
people doing
I
that.
heard correctly that they were opening like a lounge, like a Bruno Mars themed lounge at the MGM. It was
Ooh.
called like the Silk Sonic Room or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, the cheapest ticket is just about $300.
I would love to go.
Let's go. Let's get the $10,000.
I love me some Bruno. What's up, Annie?
I hate to be the one to say this.
What's up?
Here it comes.
What's up?
The MGM has released a statement saying that those claims are false.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. Okay, so
So he paid it off
historical
already.
fiction.
So he said, I'll take you guys down if you don't take this back.
So I wonder who made those claims.
It doesn't
Probably,
seem
honestly,
like it makes
probably
sense
some
because
girl he had sex with in Vegas and was like, "You didn't call me back, Bruno.
God,
I'll
He has a wife.
destroy you."
he
exactly.
might have $50 million in debt, but there's no way it could be to one casino. That
Why
just
not?
doesn't make
That's
sense.
his
That's
home
his
turf.
residency.
Yeah,
That's
that's
his
where
place.
that's
That's
where
his
he's hanging out.
hometown.
No
He-
casino.
His
I don't
favorite
care
table
who
is
you
there.
are. You could be Jeff Bezos. No casino is loaning you $50 million over a length of time. They're going to cut you off for that. That's
I
crazy.
love
That's a
They're
great
gonna
point.
wait. They're gonna cut off Bruno Mars.
Yes.
Come on.
Not
Would
for
you?
50 mil.
Would you if you had a successful?
If he
casino?
kept losing, yeah.
If
Well-
that dude was hanging out on the floor multiple nights at my casino, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. You can play with Monopoly money, and everyone around you would just be like, oh yeah, okay, I'll keep gambling too. I love you, Bruno.
What's your favorite hotel?
But he's not gambling on the floor. He's gambling in like some weird
Probably, like,
VIP private room.
Western.
He's not gambling on the floor of MGM.
favorite hotel
He
in
loves it.
Vegas.
Favorite Vegas hotel?
Not the Best Western.
I'm gonna say the
favorite hotel in Vegas.
the Holiday
Flamingo.
Inn.
The Flamingo's your favorite hotel?
I don't know. I don't know any.
It's the only one we've really hung out at.
Oh, I like. Oh shoot, I'm gonna. This is
Bellagio.
Monterey Bay.
Yeah,
Monterey
Bellagio's
Bay is
pretty
I like
nice.
Monterey
My
Bay. I
grandpa
like
goes
their
to
pool.
Bellagio.
I like a lazy river moment.
Yep.
What can I say?
good.
You want to hear a
Monterey
really
Bay.
funny baller story?
Yeah.
Baller.
My grandpa and Mary, his new wife, go to Vegas every once in a while, and because they love to gamble. Mary loves to gamble, and they stayed at some hotel. It was like a relatively mid-line, like expensive one. It wasn't
Okay.
crazy expensive, and they tried to check in early, and they were like, the hotel's like, sorry, like we can't do it.
Yeah.
And so Mary got so upset, they went to the Bellagio, and now they stay in the Bellagio every time they go
Whoa.
to Vegas. I'm like, what?
I wish I could afford to be that petty. Like,
right?
we're out of here.
So
That's
funny.
awesome.
We'll stay across the street at the
And then-
Bellagio.
And then the story. Then Mary, they come back and Mary's like, the Bellagio was like so much better. And I was thinking,
No
well, yeah,
duh.
you're paying
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so much more money. Of course
Yeah.
they're better, But
Well, my favorite was the Encore, but I'm apparently not allowed there anymore. So
Yeah, you got kicked out. Huh?
You've never stayed there though.
what?
Out of all the ones you've stayed in, what
Yeah.
have you stayed in?
Kara, let me just remind you
the Best
that
Western Vegas.
3 out of 4 people in this room didn't go to Vegas every summer of their childhood.
I've stayed in a lot of hotels.
I've stayed in
That-
just the
well,
one.
That's what I'm saying. That
Wait,
question's kind of vague. 'Cause
Kara,
I think I've
you
been to
went-
Vegas twice in my
Yeah.
whole
Went
life.
Twice your whole
summer?
life.
I went for his
Sad.
bachelor party,
Yeah.
and I went for
Bobby's
something else.
birthday.
Bobby's birthday. That's the
Yep.
only 2 times. And
Yep.
when I
Every
went
time-
for Ryan's, it was the first time I'd
Those
ever
are
been in Vegas.
those are 2 of the 3 times I've been there.
Kara, every time I've gone, I've either stayed in a motorhome
yeah.
or at
So
somebody's
your
house
favorite
who lived
hotel
5
is
Kara.
minutes.
is your parents'
It's
motorhome?
my parents' motorhome.
Give us your top 10.
Yeah, I don't get
Top
it.
10 hotels in Vegas.
What's crazy is that you went every summer, but you didn't use the same place every time.
No.
You guys
That's
bounced
wild. No, we
around.
did.
That's wild.
No.
We did most of the time.
Where'd you
Most
stay?
of the time, we stayed at the MGM for
Awesome.
3 nights, and then we stayed at Sam's Town for 2. Sam's Town's off the strip.
You did a week in Vegas. How
Yeah.
old were you? How old were you?
For what? What were you guys doing there?
First time I was ever in Vegas,
They
I was
do
probably
dance competitions.
8.
Oh, that would make sense. That
Yeah,
would make
right?
sense.
Dance competitions?
Yeah, I think we started going to Vegas. Well, my parents always went to Vegas, but then we all started going as kids. I think when I was 8, and we would do the dance competition was in the MGM, so we'd stay there,
Awesome.
and then we'd go to Sam's Town because my parents grew up going there, or at least my mom did with her parents. And there's a movie theater there. There's a bowling alley, and it's how like what's it called? What is the Great Outdoors store?
Bass Pro Shop.
You know how we went to the Bass Pro
Yeah,
Shop?
the Bass Pro
and it's
Shop
kind of
there is
like
pretty sick.
it's kind of like an outside inside.
Yeah, yeah,
Like it looks like you're outside.
yeah.
That's what Sam's Town is. You walk into
Awesome.
the lobby and it's a giant room that looks like you're in a forest. And at nighttime,
Rainforest
by the
Cafe.
waterfall, all of the animatronic animals go off and there's a bear and there's a water show.
Wow.
It's the
Amazing.
Rainforest Cafe Hotel. is
Pretty
what I'm
much.
hearing.
I would stay at the Rainforest.
I would
Um,
stay at the
we-
Rainforest Cafe Hotel. Okay, Rainforest Cafe. I know you're watching it with Bridget Medler.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go
say.
ahead.
There's another one of those.
Make a Rainforest Cafe hotel in Vegas. It would be amazing. It would make so much money.
Honestly, yes.
You could have
Dude,
the dealers
we
be animatronic elephants at the craps
Tracy the
tables.
Tree would be there.
Tracy the
spitting
Tree
out
would
money.
be there. And then when someone wins big, it's
Not
not like
animatronic.
"Ah!" and the, like
The
lights
monkeys.
flashing. It'd be so good.
Not the animatronic elephant dealers.
Yeah.
That's the part that
The
got
trunk
me.
gives you your blackjack cards. Like,
your like the high rollers room would be
21.
It shoots
Quick.
out of their trunk. It's an
Yeah.
automatic dealer.
the little tree frog,
be
like
so
his
good.
sticky little hand is like,
Yeah.
22.
I don't
Push.
remember this. When we were little, I guess we did stay in Circus one year.
Yeah.
Stayed
Circus
there
Circus.
1 year.
That's
In
where
that
they have the
hotel.
RV park.
Yeah, that's true. We
That's
stayed
where Annie
at
stayed.
Mandalay Bay
I stayed at Circus.
1 year.
Uh-huh.
We stayed at the Golden Nugget 2
Awesome.
years because
Mandalay Bay.
they had a slide and you went through sharks.
Okay, I
Yeah.
knew Monterey Bay wasn't right.
I know. I said
I
it
was
and I
like-
was like, Monterey,
Monterey
Bay,
Bay,
sounds
Mandalay.
bad. Mandalay Bay.
And then what else did we stay in?
Anna, you have quite a history of that.
And then the Flamingo.
Say something that's like
Love.
so,
So
close
close.
to the truth.
Yeah, it's
I
called
want to say
dyslexia.
we stayed in the MGM from probably when I was 8 to like 12.
I like that
God,
hotel.
You lived
That
at a
place is
hotel
nice.
for that
Because
many years.
we
In
were there.
Vegas?
We were there when
She
the
grew up
Lions were there.
privileged.
They accrued a gambling debt.
The Lions were there.
Their
and
rent
then-
was just Tina gambling.
I think the
Yeah.
last time we went there, the Lions weren't there.
They moved.
Not the Lions.
Yeah, because PETA won that fight.
Freaking pedo. Always fighting for the animal rights.
Did you say pedo?
Pedo. PETA.
Freaking pedo.
Well, speaking of
I said
pedo,
PETA.
guys, if you're like me, your TikTok has been absolutely gripped by this Nickelodeon documentary. Have you seen these clips? I haven't
Drake-
watched the
with Drake
documentary
Bell?
yet. Yes. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
And a lot of stars, apparently, that former child stars.
A lot
I
of
should say.
people.
But as we were sitting here prepping for the episode, we saw an interview with Dan Schneider and some random star, like actually breaking down this documentary. It came
Dan
out.
Schneider's still alive.
Yes.
Still alive and barely breathing.
Good.
It looks. He does not look well.
And he's like, like the small clip we saw of it, he was like, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes.
It was
like that
really,
was his bit.
Could he be sued for Could he sue
Oh.
for defamation?
Not if it's true.
Yeah, that's a tough one
That's the
because
hard one.
if he wants to start doing the whole lawyer thing, like he's gonna get got.
Yeah.
But Nickelodeon hasn't seemed to like spoken out yet, but it's still
They're not
pretty
going.
fresh.
They're not going.
This
to.
isn't the Drake Bell documentary.
It is. So
is.
this documentary just came out and they're releasing it in episodes, parts, and it's called Quiet on Set.
Yes.
Because
Great marketing.
This guy, something Peck, not Josh Peck, no relation, but
No relation.
what was the man's name?
Brian.
Brian Peck was basically turns out now dude's a pedophile and like known pedophile by his friends, aka Dan Schneider. He was a dialect coach that worked closely with a lot of actors at Nickelodeon at the time.
Oh, so this documentary series isn't about Dan Schneider?
Oh, it is. It's about
It's about like
Dan Schneider, Brian Peck,
Nickelodeon's
Nickelodeon.
pedophilia and
Yes.
How
Okay.
Nickelodeon had kind of like swept all this stuff under
Yes.
the rug.
So Dan Schneider was in charge of. He was like the
the
showrunner.
producer.
Yes,
Yeah.
and he's basically where it all. You know, all the weird like. Okay, so back in the day, Nickelodeon shows would like have like weird, wacky, gross out humor, right? Like, haha, oh my gosh, like, ew, his stinky feet. Like there was always like feet jokes. And like, do you know what I'm talking about?
Victoria's had a lot of
In
it.
Victorious, in the Amanda Show,
Yeah.
in iCarly, there was like always feet jokes. Turns out Dan Schneider actually has a foot
Yeah,
fetish.
yeah, he
like,
does.
Yeah.
Totally sicko.
Oh, people
And, like,
knew that when the show came out
Yeah.
because there's a lot of feet.
Well,
A lot of feet
and
stuff.
there's a girl who played Nicole in Zoe 101.
Yep.
Who ended
Yes.
up getting like booted out because Britney Spears and Jamie Lynn Spears
Yes,
hated her and they
I remember
wrote
that.
her out. But she said that her mom was super, like the reason that the producers didn't like her, a huge part of it was that her mom was super diligent about kind of protecting her from stuff. And that Dan Schneider would go around and try to take feet pictures of the girls on set of just like, hey, like show me your feet and like try to like grab a picture. And her mom was like adamant against it. She was like, no, like
So
do not,
gross.
do not let him take any pictures of you.
But that, I mean, that was just the start of it. The clips that I've seen, again, we're going to have to watch some of this documentary, I think, because
Yeah.
it gets
I
pretty.
love when we report on things that we
haven't
literally
seen yet from
know
TikTok.
nothing about.
Well, we've seen clips.
But I mean, I feel like we were there. Like we can look back and go, oh yeah, like these shows were effed up.
This
Like,
is like the first, like, I guess, culminated documentary about it. But we've been hearing rumors
Yeah.
and pieces.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, people knew Dan
there was
Schneider
this
was a weirdo forever.
there was this reoccurring character on the Amanda Show called Pickle Guy, and Pickle Guy would go around feeding people pickles. You know, children,
Oh, yeah.
children and adults alike. Yeah, Brian Peck played Pickle Guy, the known pedophile.
I need
Yeah.
to see what he looks
Yeah,
like.
there is one episode where Ray Romano gets trapped in a closet. He was guest starring on this episode of the Amanda Show, and Pickle Guy puts a pickle through a hole in the door, and Ray Romano eats it.
yeah, there's so many
You
things
walked me
that,
through
like,
that one.
went over my head as a kid.
Yep,
That as an adult watching it, I'd be like, oh my gosh.
like so
so blatant.
obvious.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
I watched a portion, like it was like
Uh-huh.
clips, but I watched like a good portion of the Drake Bell one talking
Yes.
about Brian. And he said that he had been keeping it kind of a secret, this
Yes.
like abuse that had been happening to him until he got a girlfriend and realized that he was trying to spend all this time at his girlfriend's house because he felt safe there. And Brian was supposed to take him to Disneyland. This like 14-year-old boy. He was going to take him to Disneyland, and Drake Bell was like dodging his calls. And then Brian starts calling his girlfriend's house and is like
Yikes.
calling and calling and calling. And finally, his girlfriend's mom pulled Drake Bell aside and was like, what is going on?
He was in
Yeah.
X-Men.
Who was?
Brian Peck.
What was he?
I don't know.
Well, he was a
was in
a
Hollywood,
low level
yeah.
actor, and that's why he was. The reason why these kids kept going to his house is because he was number one, it was like he was this big positive personality. Everyone kind of loved him, but he'd do these like weird things like that. And then he would work one-on-one with these kids as their dialect coach or their singing coach or whatever. And so it's just rough.
Brutal.
I also heard the story that he like was pen pals with John Wayne Gacy,
Yeah, he had a signed picture.
and he'd like
Clown
show
photo.
the kids and be like, isn't this crazy? Like,
Yeah, he was. I guess when John Wayne Gacy was in prison, he was executed, wasn't he?
did they get him?
Yeah, I think he's dead.
He's dead,
Oh,
but I don't know
no.
how. But yeah, before he died,
Sure.
whether execution or just died from natural causes.
Historical
He
fiction.
was, writing to him in prison, and
Yeah.
and then he signed a clown photo and sent it to Dan.
This
Or no,
sucks.
sorry,
And he'd like
Brian
whip it out at like cast parties and stuff.
is
and
it
be
Brian
like,
Peck or Dan that had the?
I think it's Brian Peck.
Oh, okay.
He was the friend.
In this, it says that Drake Bell talks about how when he went into the courtroom, how there were so many recognizable faces on Peck's side,
Yeah.
and one of them was James Marsden.
Yeah.
And he says,
Oh, yeah,
he was
when-
one of the 41 people who sent in letters saying, like, in his favor.
Yep.
And he said, I can easily say that Brian is one of the reasons why I've been so successful in the industry. I was lucky enough to be graced with Brian's guidance, commissioned guidance, I might add, and support in pursuing an acting career. He referred to him as a mentor.
Yeah. A
Yeah, 'cause
lot of big names.
Drake
like
Bell went to court for this when he was a minor. And
Yeah.
he was like he went as an anonymous source because he was still a kid. But like he got
like 8
when-
accounts of
Taron
like
Killam,
being a pedophile.
yeah,
Tom
years
DeSanto.
ago.
The whole cast of Boy Meets World,
Yeah.
same thing. Wrote letter. There are all these letters of good favor or whatever they call
Yeah.
them, like
But like
standing up for him.
But like Drake Bell went to
doing
court for
that.
this years ago, and the whole thing with this documentary is he's just now speaking out against
Yeah.
it, and he's like, or now he's speaking out saying like it was me.
Which is crazy because he recently
Hey,
Was it-
he got, and that's why people are kind of like speaking poorly of him on it, is because they're like, oh, what suspicious
he like
timing for you
sexually
to say
assaulted
that
some 17-year-old girl or something,
he
right?
was like sexting children,
Oh, okay.
like 16-year-olds, yeah.
I'm not gonna say not that bad, but
But
like
and so this
Just
whole thing
did.
is like he just got for it.
I'm not gonna say
And
that,
people
John.
are like, "Oh wow, convenient timing for you to come out about your abuse," which is like he went to court about it. He came out about it when
Right.
it happened. He just was an anonymous
It
source.
is rough.
You know?
Well, the court of public opinion, right?
Yeah.
But it is. I'm not gonna say it's convenient, but yeah, like if you got caught in sexual scandal, like you would probably go public with and it's like you're now a part of this documentary. I don't know. Controlling the narrative.
Crazy.
Your childhood's a lie. Every show you
Yeah.
liked growing up as a kid, steeped in,
It furthers the case. It feel like we're always making about the idea that children just shouldn't be in the industry.
Yeah.
Like at a certain age
Well, it
or
sound-
at a
it
certain level. It's
kind of feels like, and now I guess their whole thing was like all these. So they interviewed a bunch of cast members from All That, which was like the other show. There was like the Amanda Show and All That were on at the same time. And Kenan Thompson came out of All That, and I don't know if he's in the documentary, but it's like they're all talking about how they would write these jokes that were like off color, and then they were just kind of seeing like what they could get away with. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe they got the pickle joke in, or like there's this one episode. And I was seeing the clip, and this clip is ridiculous. It's Ariana Grande, and she's like
Is the one she's pouring water
in
all over
Victoria's.
herself?
Yeah, she's like pouring water all over herself and like squeezing this potato,
Yeah.
and she keeps going like, "I'm trying to get the potato juice out." Like it's super sexual.
Yeah. A lot of the things
like,
that
they
they
just
made her
let
do on
that-
Victorious were bad.
But then they aired it on TV.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah.
Because it's wacky funny.
Well, did you see the stuff that happened with the Ned's Declassified podcast?
no. What do they
So
say?
they came out and they were like, they were talking about it. They were like, yeah, our set wasn't like that. And then they were kind of like not making fun of it, but like
They were making fun of it.
They made a joke about it. Yeah, they were like, and then
he apologized.
yeah, he did. But
Ned.
one of them was
Yeah.
like, wait, you guys, you're not gonna let me like speak my truth. And he was like, we told you not to talk about that. Like, give me your holes or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
made some joke
Jesus.
about like
So
alluding
bad.
to like raping.
Mm.
And
God.
Yeah, it was really bad.
And then Drake Bell responded like, "Really,
Yep.
guys?" And
Yep.
they even in the episode, they're like, "Guys, we should not be joking about this." They're like, "This is not funny. We need to stop talking about it." And then like
Cut
put
it out of the
there.
show.
Yeah, put it out there.
No,
Whoever
they
edits
were
that.
live on Instagram.
Yeah.
They were like on a live and they were like talking about it. And
Yikes.
but they posted. I mean,
They
either
posted it and
somebody was
people
screen
clip it.
recording
People
yeah.
screen record it. Yeah,
Duh.
like duh, like right.
Mm.
And
It
Drake
was
Bell
very like
responded.
haphazard, like like we shouldn't talk about it, but like kind of like you would have a conversation with like your friend or something, but it obviously is being live streamed, which is
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
irresponsible.
And then
but-
Drake Bell, of course, sees it, responds, is like, "Really, guys? Like, thanks. Like, yeah, laugh it up." And he's since the guy who played Ned has since responded and apologized and was like, "Yeah, this wasn't okay."
It's like you guys literally have a podcast recounting your times at Nickelodeon. Like
yeah.
Yeah.
you don't think like we're all in this together, right, guys? Like
Yeah.
Poor Drake
and they
Bell.
always talk about how like weird and like inappropriate sometimes like their relationships were and how like being kids
Yeah, because
stars
he
and
say that like him and his co-star, the female girl, like brunette girl, like they were like
fully hooking up.
hooking up.
Yeah.
Yes.
At like 15.
Honestly,
and stuff like that, or
show,
14.
that
Crazy.
podcast is the definition of like nobody freaking asked.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. It's
Yes.
so unhinged. It's so
Yes.
It's like that whole
unhinged.
conversation. I was like, why are you guys talking about this?
Yeah,
It's
'cause
so
And they've
weird.
like pitched to Nickelodeon multiple times for having like an
A
adult
reboot.
version. Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
kept saying no.
Yeah. And Nickelodeon was
Got
like,
'em.
no.
Nickelodeon's like, we're good.
And that's why they started this podcast, is like
Mm-hmm.
their version of a reboot of it.
I think with their instance, it's like a classic. You know, they are stuck in their time.
Like
you
the-
know, as the
Yeah.
child stars. You know,
I feel as more episodes of this show come out, more and more people will be revealed, more and
Yeah.
more information will come out, and I feel like it's like definitely a
I think
reckoning
it's mostly people from Amanda Show, Zoe 101,
and all that.
and all that.
Yeah.
And Drake and Josh.
And
I mean,
yeah.
it was like a certain era. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the reality was Nickelodeon was pumping out so many shows. They of course couldn't have the same like 5 heads of show
Yeah.
running all of them. Like
Jeanette
they're gonna have
McCurdy will
to-
probably make an appearance.
I think she's too big.
I bet she.
Oh,
will.
I don't. I bet there's going to be like a Zoom.
so they're releasing it
thing
like
of her.
every day, a new episode.
I
or
think
something?
so.
Every
Something
week,
like that.
maybe.
That's pretty cool.
There's 2 episodes out. We should probably watch this.
That sounds kind of depressing.
Victoria Justice won't be on it. She's definitely too big right now.
What is she even doing?
She's putting out a lot of music.
There's a lot of like, okay, what's crazy is they showed this clip, the last clip that I saw was like all of they did a they gave him a Kids Choice Award, like Lifetime Achievement Award, was like went to Dan Schneider. And all of these stars, yeah, the whole cast of Victorious, the whole cast of iCarly were all up on stage and they're all like, "You changed our lives. Like, thank you so much, Dan. Like, you made these amazing shows. You changed kids television." And it's like a really bad. So I wonder how many of them like
War affected.
I'm not going to say like benefited from it, but like weren't affected, were affected, saw the real. Obviously, Ariana Grande is like doing great now,
What?
more or
No.
less, career-wise.
Career-wise, yes. I feel like it's all the people who we saw in those shows
Uh-huh.
who were part of the bits that were inappropriate.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like I mean Amanda Bynes obviously has
She had to
been
sit in a hot
so
tub with him.
negatively
Poor
affected
thing.
forever. But like
Oh, I always forget that's the blonde-haired girl now. Or
Amanda
the
Bynes?
the
Yeah.
bleach-haired girl. She looks so different.
Yeah.
Bynes, yes.
she's
Oh my
been
gosh,
posting
her-
a
Poor
lot of
thing.
Different.
The most recent TikTok I saw
Yeah.
is she goes, "Hi everyone. My hair is like this right now. I've decided to stop wearing wigs. I'm wearing extensions now. I got these from Amazon, but they're starting to rat, so I have to get new ones." And then she presses
It's
stop.
such a crazy video.
she's like her
Poor
brain
thing.
is just fried, and it's just so sad because
Drugs.
you see what a good actress she was.
Yeah.
But I also like look at some of her other roles. Like I even watching like She's the Man again. I was like, you can almost kind of see the cracks in it now. Like knowing that she was going through like severe
mine is
drug addiction.
The
and
first one
stuff.
for me was Easy A.
Oh, I never
Because
saw
that was
Easy Eye.
the
a
first
good
movie where it was like, oh, Amanda
movie.
Bynes is putting
good
on
movie.
weight.
Emma Stone.
Like, what's happening? She looks different. And then after Easy A is when it literally
Well,
went
even in
downhill.
like Hairspray, like you watch her performance in Hairspray, and obviously she's playing Penny.
Oh,
so she's-
Hairspray
Yeah.
was great.
she's great, but like you can kind of see that there's like a
Something.
like yeah like
I'm so surprised she didn't go on like SNL or something. She was so funny.
It's because
And-
literally
she got
after Easy A,
trauma.
No, I'm saying she started getting in like all these comedies.
I think it was more her comedy was more childish.
I feel like
Teeny
she
bopper.
totally could have.
You know what I mean? I
She
mean,
totally could have
Keenan
done
Let's talk about
Yeah,
Keenan Thompson.
yeah.
Was
She
like
was
on
funnier
all
than
that.
Keenan Thompson, I think.
Yeah.
Like, she
Yeah.
had so much potential. That's what they were saying about me.
I truly hope that one
says
day Amanda Bynes will be like
people.
Lindsay Lohan.
Got it.
And she will make a comeback.
Is Lindsay Lohan coming back?
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh,
she
yes.
is.
She has a new movie called
Mean
Irish
Girls?
about
something.
love,
Called
yeah,
Easy
something.
B.
Irish Love or something. I don't know. On Netflix.
Is that the sequel to Easy A?
She was on like Jimmy Fallon the other night.
Yeah, there's
She
a
wasn't
whole
in
thing where
Easy
they
A.
think she's gonna do a new rendition of
Parent
the
Trap.
Parent Trap.
Yeah, I saw that
like
too.
a promo
Pass.
picture came out of her like doubled.
That was when she was on Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah, and they were like
Yeah.
making it as if it was like.
I
gonna
saw
be the
something
twins
that
now.
they
Can you
did
guys?
like a. They
Sorry,
did a
really
poll.
quick.
Oh,
Can you
go
give me your title of the Parent Trap reboot?
Oh.
I don't know.
Come on, not just like the Parent Trap 2, or just like
Because at the end of Parent Trap, the parents get back together. Right?
yes.
Yeah.
So
Where could that? I mean,
maybe they
So Lindsay Lohan grows up. She's married.
sure. But what's
She has twins of her own.
maybe the twins.
The twins don't like each other. They grew up together and they want to leave each other.
No, I think it's the exact same plot, but with Lindsay Lohan as a mom of two twin girls, and her and her husband are
Yes.
splitting up.
And
Exact
she
same
goes
plot.
to
And
the-
she has to
one
go-
of the twins go to her
The
twin
sister's
to the
house,
sister's
yes.
house for the summer, and they devise a plan with the sister.
And that's when the
to
sister's
Parent
like,
Trap
"Oh,
them
did we ever
again."
tell you that story about how we?" And
They're
then
like, I just wish mom and dad would stay together.
And we're
Lindsay
calling it-
Lohan again would be like,
Parent Trap 2.
and we're calling it.
on.
Or
man. Come on,
what if
give me
it's
something.
what if it's opposite and it's called the
Parent-
Parents Trap, and Lindsay Lohan and her husband are like doing something for the daughters, like the daughter is having a divorce.
I'd probably the
something like
Parents
that.
Trap is good. I might call it the Family Trap, or like the. Something like that, like
Yeah.
creative.
Trap squared.
Back in the trap.
Back in the trap.
Okay,
Yeah.
come on, Annie.
Yeah,
give me
go
a
ahead.
nugget.
I mean,
Chessy.
for me, I wanted to like play off of like trap, like maybe like the parents like
The rat trap.
Trapped
crap,
again.
like parents crap, and it's like
Parents crap. Parents crap is
Dealing
Parents
with
crap.
your
And, like,
parents' crap.
And it's like now, it's like now
They're, like,
now
dissecting
the
their family
parents
trauma.
have passed away.
Oh.
Their parents pass away, and they're having to
Oh,
like
opening screen is mom's funeral.
mom's funeral.
well,
Oh,
there.
she is dead. So
And they go, I can't
What?
believe Dad
So
5.
sad.
right,
What?
the mom,
Yes.
yeah, the
Yes.
mom.
And they go,
Liam Neeson's wife. Yep.
Yeah.
who played Elizabeth?
Who played Elizabeth?
Yes.
Died in a skiing accident.
Skiing accident.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
That'll
So
happen.
sad.
Oh, a long
Same
time
one
ago.
that
Early
Gwen-
2000s.
Long
I
time
think.
ago.
Like
Gwyneth
after
Paltrow.
Parent Trap.
Remember Gwyneth Paltrow's
I
trial?
can't believe you didn't know this.
Remember that trial, the skiing trial?
It's so sad.
It's
Yeah.
about that.
No. Gwyneth Paltrow killed her. That's so messed up.
What's her actual name?
Okay. I'll let you stew on that.
Chessie. Her name was Chessie.
No, it's not.
No, Natasha
I-
Richardson.
You could
2009, Annie.
you couldn't be more
2009.
wrong.
I was
woman-
busy in 2009.
Her name is
I was
Chessie.
watching Dan
Chessie.
Schneider shows.
The woman's name was Chessie.
I was
Okay, give it to me, Jim.
I was reading an article the other day, and they did like a census of like viewers, and they said that 74% of viewers want new content.
Amen.
They don't want
Stop
any more
rebooting things.
reboots. And they even did like another layer, and they were saying like 50% of that group says yes, they want more new content, less reboots, but they also are content with streaming old like series and movies over and over again. So like you watch like a series.
Yeah.
You you don't watch anything over and over again.
No.
No, you don't.
I don't either.
Not true.
But Annie
Actually,
does.
I feel like
Movies.
I return to old YouTube videos more often than I
Okay.
do. But like, yeah, there's like classic
Your generation
movies.
is showing.
Yeah, thank you. I have two thoughts about this.
Uh-huh.
One is people like survey is great. Survey says and everything, but
Yeah.
people give their opinions with their wallets.
Sure.
I mean, this new
Yeah, but,
Dune
like-
sequel, it's making bank.
Sure, but I also
But that's
wonder, like,
still
is that
new.
because they're just making
No.
it?
No,
Like-
that's not what John's saying. John's saying like brand new.
He's saying stop doing the reboots, stop doing the whatever. Like if you're making a sequel to a newer thing, that's one thing.
Yeah.
It's don't make the Parent
Sorry,
Trap
I should
5
say
billion.
I should say a 2-part remake of a 1980s movie.
Yeah.
is
Dune
back in
is-
theaters.
It is a
an old-
remake.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I didn't know this. I just found this out.
Remember? Okay, Twin Peaks.
No.
You didn't watch Twin Peaks?
But either way, here's what I think. I think the
Sting
reason
was in
that
that
people
movie.
are watching it, like, I think the reason they're getting the turnout that they are is because right now Hollywood is largely dictating what is available.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I think if, but I think they would be surprised if they started making, like, investing in making new stuff. That their viewership would increase because I think generally people are more interested in something that's brand new rather than remakes.
I
that
think-
are potentially bad.
Yes, but that's what I mean. Like we're gonna go see it anyways. Like,
Sure.
I kind of feel like Hollywood controls it, and until like people in Hollywood just start making
It's a cycle.
that stuff, it's not like we're not gonna stop going to the theaters. I feel like
Certainly not as a stubby.
we
Certainly
can't
not.
get our act together. The people, the Commonwealth.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like you're right. It's like we're gonna go see it anyways, and it's like a cycle because Hollywood does dictate what they put out, and
Right.
we'll go see it anyways. But we won't be able to
For sure.
say
Every
that we want new
Disney
stuff until they
remake-
put new stuff. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
yep.
Some new things are such flops, though.
Like-
Yeah, totally.
Go ahead.
Damsel,
Oh God, we
the
watched
new
this horrible.
Millie Bobby
Damsel.
Brown.
Let me save you
Movie.
2 hours of your time. Don't watch it.
Hey, where'd you watch it?
It was
I-
bad.
in
It's on
bed.
Netflix.
Fell asleep.
It's
Fell asleep.
bad.
Well, I will say Millie Bobby Brown, her last couple projects kind of flopped.
I couldn't really
the
take
whole,
her seriously.
The whole Enola,
Enola Holmes.
Enola Holmes.
I liked
that's
the
a
first
kinda
one. I
flop,
didn't see
too.
the second one.
How do you feel about this? Is a conversation we were having the other day. Physical media, because I'm right with you. Like streaming services and even like music streaming, it all feels like the final frontier when it comes to media, right? But the licensing for all of these, your favorite shows, your favorite movies.
bad.
I mean, we see it like when they pulled The Office off of Netflix, right?
Yeah, that was a sad day for me.
Unless you had the box set, until Peacock came along, there was no way to watch The Office. It was just gone.
Yeah, I think
So-
it's so funny. My dad talks about this all the time because he has like we used to have a CD wall in the old studio.
DVD towers, right?
He has like hundreds of CDs.
Yeah,
Remember
your parents have a big like entertainment center,
Yes,
right?
yes,
Like,
yes.
Yeah.
And it was only recently until like he redid his office, but we used to have a whole bookshelf of movies.
Yes.
And DVDs and even VHSs, and they got rid of all those. But my dad's a big CD guy, and because he like is classic, like, well, if the streaming services tomorrow, like if they all decided they wanted to take it off, like we'd never have a copy of it. And I think that's cool. I think it's cool to have hard copies of things you really like.
Sure.
Like I don't have it, but I would really enjoy having like the DVD set of The Office because I genuinely love The Office.
Maybe you should
You know
get
what
it.
I'm
I mean, that's not like a crazy thing to think that one day they'll just pull it. It'll just be gone.
Right.
Like,
Right.
and there's no way to watch that other than if it's randomly on TV or if you have like the DVD box set.
I'm starting to consider canceling Disney Plus and Hulu
How's that?
because Disney owns Hulu, but
Well, I like Hulu because
One-
I feel like they're the one streaming that actually puts shows that are currently on cable
sure,
on.
That is
Hulu has
true.
a ton. Hulu has The Office, or no, it doesn't. It has New Girl,
The Bachelor.
It has The Bachelor. It has
Good Doctor.
Modern Family, which we love watching
Yep.
all the
Family,
time.
got to watch that. But,
But-
you're thinking about canceling it?
Well, yeah, I feel like Disney Plus more, not
Yeah,
necessarily Hulu.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
We do use Hulu a lot, but Disney
get
Plus, I'm
Disney
like,
Plus.
it's nice because like yes, in theory, I could if I wanted to on any random Tuesday,
Yep.
I could go watch some old Disney movie that's on Disney Plus. But I'm also like, I literally never use it. Like I can't tell you the last time I was on Disney Plus because like unless I
can.
want to go,
You're not hanging
watch
with
something-
your nephews these days? They're not watching Disney movies?
No, they it's funny. They only watch 2 movies
Oh no.
On
they
a
watch
rotation.
They watch Paw Patrol,
Okay.
the new movie, the like superhero one, the
Oh,
superhero.
okay, the one that was in
yeah.
theaters.
Yep, and we went and saw it in
Awesome.
theaters, but I own it because I had to buy it on Amazon and
Sure.
we watch it. And they watched the new animated Grinch movie.
No.
the Benedict Cumberbatch one. Because they can't
Classic.
watch the Jim Carrey one yet because they were kind of terrified when we tried to watch it with them. Because I forgot how like as a child, it is kind of a scary thing. Like the Grinch.
Yeah, but
Jim
maybe
Carrey.
I don't know. We watch scary stuff all the time.
But
Weird
like,
You
stuff
should
to
show a
look at.
Monster House.
Okay.
Yeah,
not
for
trying-
real. On a random Tuesday night, just
Animated.
show them Monster House, and they'd be like, "Good night."
How about a little scary
sh-
godmother?
Yeah. How about show them Labyrinth? Here you go, kids. Watch Labyrinth.
Labyrinth.
Okay. Good night. You know how many
What about like
ghouls are in that movie?
Peter Pan, or like get them to watch something else that's
Sure.
animated?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's.
Peter
A lot
Pan's
of
a good
Disney
one.
So
movies.
I guess my
Not
oldest
Peter Pan
brother
2.
who lives with my middle brother now, they have been like
The names
on
have been changed.
They've
to
been on
respect their security.
they've been on
privacy.
Disney on like the classic Disney movie track. So they started watching. They watched Little Mermaid with the
Love.
boys. They watched Aladdin, all like the classic,
Oh,
like the
love.
true classic
Yes,
animated ones.
yes.
And then Bobby said that they started watching Lion King
Love.
until they realized that
They didn't like it.
the dad dies.
Oh.
And then they kind of paused because it was already getting late. And they're like, okay, we'll finish it later. And they haven't finished it because
Have they been like, we want to watch Lion King?
yeah.
Finish it.
Because my brother's like, because Bobby's like,
Come
I don't know like how they want to handle this.
How old do you
They're
have
not gonna
the-
remember.
How old do you have the people die conversation?
My
I didn't-
my oldest nephew. There was my parents in their neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
There was 2 doors down, just a neighbor that's been there forever. His elderly mother passed away, and Levi happened to like be there. I guess like when
when she passed away?
when he came over to tell my mom.
Oh, okay.
Like he was like, oh, my mom passed away, and then also like, oh, because he used to see him walk around the block with his mom all the time, and then he stopped doing it. And so my observant little nephew Levi's like, whatever happened?
How
to
old's
Mr.
Levi now?
Rick? He's 4,
Okay.
and so then it somehow it came out like, oh yeah, his mom died. And he's like, and Levi was like so affected by it, like he was just
Yeah.
like, oh man, that's so sad, because
That's
he
so
kind of
gnarly.
connected that like his mom
Like,
and
I
Rick's
have a mom.
That's Rick's mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so every once in a while,
Really?
like,
Were the wheels turning like that? you
yeah,
think?
yeah.
No,
it was.
Levi's very.
And then it was to the point where for like a week there, every time he talked to us, we'd be like, "Oh, would you?" And he was like, "Oh, it's at grandma's house." Like, "Oh, what'd you do at grandma's house?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, Mr. Rick's mom passed away."
Wow.
And he like fully like you could tell he like his little light dimmed,
Yeah.
like he was so
Yeah.
sad. And you're like, oh, so that's why Bobby's like, I don't want to broach this conversation. Like
Well,
this is for your
especially-
parents to have.
Especially like your brother does something that is like a dangerous
Oh,
job.
yeah, true.
And like he works in a danger, like
Okay,
he's law
but-
enforcement and works in a
But
dangerous
Levi
unit.
doesn't know that.
Sometimes
I
I,
don't
think
know,
it's sometimes
man.
it's different watching movies because like in Lion King, that scene when the dad dies
Heartbreak
is
feels
so
good in a
quick.
place like this.
But then once they get to like Hakuna Matata, it's like they forgot about.
It's almost like heartbreak feels
Earlier.
good in a place like this, right?
Ugh, I'm so pissed. Did you hear they
They shortened her.
they
bit.
shortened
Oh, it's so awkward now. And there's a new line.
Annie? I know you don't care about
There's
this,
like new
but
lines that they added.
As
It's
A-listers,
so
we're
weird.
mourning the loss of Nicole Kidman's entire monologue.
Yeah,
We come
yeah.
to this place for magic. They've chopped it up into more digestible 30-second versions.
How dare they?
They're not
What's the new line?
cohesive. Though.
She kind of goes, we come to this place to laugh, to cry, to get swept up in the music. She says something about like
Yeah,
getting
swept
like music.
away.
Yeah, and then she goes, that's magic.
Oh yeah, she
Right,
ends it
doesn't
by
she?
saying that.
She doesn't say, because here they are.
She
doesn't
goes,
say that anymore.
and that's magic. AMC, we
Yeah.
make movies better.
Honestly, AMC, major L.
Except she doesn't even say better.
Why do
she
you think
says
they
better.
shortened it? What was the point of that?
Probably because it was too long.
It was too long. And,
Yeah, but it's so
and
iconic. Like,
have you
it's
been to
like-
the movies lately?
No.
AMC put out a whole new, like, you know, when they have the Coke sizzling,
Rebranded.
the popcorn, it's all new.
Well,
all
that
new
was
people.
due
All
for
new.
a re. That was due for a re-up.
So I
Yeah.
think
But-
since they want that to be longer,
No, but
They
like
shortened her.
Nicole Kidman's thing is like so iconic. Like, why would you get rid of it?
They probably spent
maybe
millions
they
on
did
it.
it because they want people to be talking about it again. Like maybe it's losing its virability.
I haven't
or
stopped
whatever.
talking about it.
But you know what I'm saying?
But maybe you're right.
Like maybe
don't
they're
know.
like, oh, we're gonna cut it because we want people to start talking about it again. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I feel like companies make moves like that where they're like,
Yeah.
it's fine where it is, it's fine, but like let's shorten it
Conspiracy.
because we want people to freak
Yeah.
out about it and talk about it.
Listen,
you know,
there's plenty of conspiracies to go around.
there is.
like
Go
Joe
ahead.
Siwa music.
No. Like Kate Middleton missing.
This is
Missing.
Oh,
so
have you
old
seen
news.
all the stuff about her stunt double?
She has a stunt double.
It's
Yeah, they all
has a
do.
lookalike.
They all do, you
There's
guys.
a lookalike that has been seen in public, and they're like, no, it's a lookalike. And then yesterday, the Tower bells rang in Buckingham Palace, which means either a birth or a death of the royal family, and no statement has been released.
Yep. And the picture of Kate Middleton in the car last week, her face is more full.
I just wanna
and a little
say-
puffy. And the one of them shopping this
Yeah.
weekend, it's not.
I just want to
It's
say,
not
I
her.
said that either King Charles died or Kate died, and you fully were like, she was seen shopping this week, and
Yeah.
it's a
Sounds
double.
like it was the.
I truly think it was the miscarriage one. I think Kate Middleton was pregnant and she had a
is
miscarriage.
that why they would say like a royal family member died?
That would be
because
the
it was
tolls.
miscarriage?
That's what I'm thinking.
well, it depends on who you ask in the
True.
royal family.
I'm
In,
thinking that
in Oklahoma,
the
Is it Oklahoma?
freaking Charles
Oklahoma,
isn't dead.
Murdered.
I mean,
Jeez.
it would be great news. I mean, not in the sense that we don't wish ill of people.
Oh, yeah.
But like,
Here we go.
man, like the press would be talking. It would be like, talk about
I
a
feel like-
rebrand. A young king. We haven't had a young person in office up there forever.
Decades. I feel like
True.
we're kind of blasting past. She has a stunt double or a body
all
double
do, I guess.
that
They
just
all
Oh, do.
The
just
royal
walks
family
around
was
you? Why wouldn't you
She,
do that if you're
the
that
only
important?
like big differences between her and the
What
double.
stunts is she doing?
We're
is-
scouting out some doubles for you.
the double
too.
has different
Some
teeth.
ninja rolls.
okay.
The teeth are different,
I would hope so.
and then the hairline is different for the double. They have very similar faces.
What's crazy is you think that like they paid for a little bit of plastic surgery. They for sure did, right? Of like, we're gonna make sure she looks.
You know what's crazy is I
Or
feel
this
like
person just
you
got
could get
lucky.
anybody to do it.
Prosthetics.
Like, why are they looking for somebody who looks similar? Like, why do they need to show her face? Just cover her in like royal
veil.
security guards, and everyone's gonna be
Unless-
like, "That's Kate."
Or just
Unless it's
don't go out of the
it's more
house.
like they don't want people knowing where the real Kate Middleton's going.
No, I know.
So the double goes in a car, so people see that car and follow the car while
Sure.
Kate Middleton's going this way.
Are we
That
makes
so
sense.
animalistic though? Like, what are we doing?
we
What is
for
this?
sure
What's it
are.
all
I
for?
don't know.
We for sure look at paparazzi. We are that
I hate it.
animalistic.
I hate it. I hate that it works.
Like-
that they're like, send the body double.
Like we are.
But it ain't
like,
broke.
I remember hearing this story of Harry Styles when he like
Harry
went home
Styles.
after like One Direction had gotten big. He like went home and his friends had to like put him in a disguise and shove him into the trunk of their car so that when they
His
drove
friends
away,
One
people,
Direction,
like,
you mean?
No, his like friends from home.
His
so
friends of
that
One
like
Direction?
when they were leaving and like fans looked into the car, it would be like very obvious he wasn't with them. And then they had to sneak him out of the trunk later because the crowds were just wild. And
That's
I
the
was like,
life of British royalty right there.
people
Yeah.
are just insane.
I would hate to be in that scenario, and I've heard of some celebrities being in it where like they're famous and obviously recognizable, but they haven't made enough money to like hire full-time security,
That sucks.
and they're like,
Sucks.
so they have to do that. Like Harry, come on, could have gotten.
Well, it was
security.
like when he was like 16. Like,
You know what I'm
chill.
saying?
You know what situation I'd hate to be in?
What's up?
Not being a Patreon supporter.
Oh,
Folks,
that would suck.
for just $4 a month, that's $1 for each member of What the Podcast, you can support
you chose that
us.
amount?
What?
Is that why you chose that amount?
That's why it is. Yeah, of course.
I didn't know that. That's
$1.
For $1 for each of us a month, that's $4 a month. You
Cheap.
get access to the post show. That's
Hey.
like What the Podcast, except for it's unhinged. It's crazy. And then you also get access to this week. We dropped some BTS video,
Yes.
little studio cleanup, little studio refurbishment happening. Check that out on our Patreon. And yeah, just thank you for everyone that does, folks. Another great week in the
I
books.
feel like we should exit with some music. I got some music for you.
Oh, thank you.
Would that be all right with you to do that?
Folks, just buy physical media, okay?
Hey, all I'm
Skynet
saying
is coming. The internet will be dying soon, and
Okay, this is getting.
we're going to need to
Well, yeah. Did you see
entertain
the
ourselves.
satellite that got launched into the air the other day, yesterday?
Yeah,
Last night?
SpaceX.
SpaceX.
With me from the
The government's
Glad
going for it.
Award and say hello to my puppies, get some work
SpaceX,
done,
it's not the
bitch.
government.
I just want to give you
not
guys
NASA, it's
a little bit of
Elon.
taste here.
It's even worse.
Okay. Okay.
Our a good friend of the show, JoJo Siwa, dropped some new music. So
Oh.
I'm gonna play just a 1 little minute stinger of her new song. And by the way, she gave a big disclaimer that she is departing from the childish little kid JoJo Siwa, and she's now mature adult JoJo Siwa. And viewer listeners,
Discretion advised.
Here we go.
Okay. There goes our copyright for the day.
That's all right. I would love for copyright to be an issue for us. Hey. 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 Hey.
It's upsetting.
Really? It's getting upsetting? Hey.
This was religious trauma in a song.
She was on Dance Moms, right? She was a dancer.
The side ponytail.
That's right. On the couch as always, Garrett Tafoya, Annie the Scope Scopeman. I'm Ryan.
Who are you?
I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
We'll see you next week on What the Podcast. He got lost in the music there.
I did get lost in the music.
That is so rough.
He's a JoJo stan.
Crazy. The predictions are even crazier. I gotta show you this video in a second. People predicted what the music was gonna sound like before it came out because she did this whole disclaimer, and they were like, their predictions were like almost spot on. It's crazy.
Check it out in the post show. What the Podcast.